Everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to look at our daily Bitcoin update. We're going to focus on the daily chart, and then we're going to zoom out to the big picture on the weekly and show you some bigly things happening in the chart. We're at decision time for Bitcoin. Are we going to, tear the bears apart and bust through the door here? We're approaching the 50-day EMA as we speak. A big thing happened yesterday. What was it? We closed above the EMA 34, this orange line, for the first time since longer. It's been since our rally to 48K since, late March, since we've been above the orange 34-day EMA. That's a big deal, right? So could the bulls get some momentum here? Yes, if we can, maybe bust through one last moving average, the 50-day, right? It's not just the 50-day. There's also something bigger on the weekly brewing that, like I said, we're going to get to. Right now, we're kind of in line with this wick, this initial wick on this drop down here, right? The initial bounce. We need to clear that. That would also clear here, right? So 23.5, if we can do that and close above it, right? You can always get wicks that are like little fake outs and then get a sell-off. So right now, we're approaching resistance. After that, there's nothing, right? We should be able to bounce up. And as we've talked about before, right, our next kind of resistance zone is kind of going to be up in this area. Some 28 to 32K should be clear to go if we can close above the 50-day, which is around 23.5, right? That would be pretty much the green light across the board. So that is the daily. Now let's go look at the weekly. And see, well, one more thing on the daily, right? So yesterday and today, right, we broke through the EMA 34, and then just today, we went back. I believe this was, quite a bit of hours ago, but we came down and retested right off of, that breakout zone level, right? That zone, this yellow line. Look at all the daily candle closes. None of them above that line. And that wick came back to test almost to the dollar right on that. So that showed support, and the bulls have shown up, at least for now. So we will see how much power they have. Are they exhausted already? Right? This is already a pretty decent rally from back on July 13th. We're already up almost 25%. So do they have enough momentum to bust through the final 50-day? And if we do, pretty clear skies up to, around 28K or so. So on the weekly, we got a little bit more big things happening. So the 8-week EMA, we have not closed a weekly candle above since, you guessed it, late March, right? That rally to 48K. So that is also significant. Many tests, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections in a row. Maybe a half-assed attempt here. And then we hit right off of it again the week of June 6th. And then nothing for, the past several weeks. Until now, right? We're approaching that as we speak. It's around 23.7. Let's get an exact number for right now. It is 23.670. It was 23.7 a little bit ago, so that'll change as prices fluctuate. But certainly a nice breakout, and we are up from the bottom. Now we're looking almost 35%, over 30%. So that's a pretty nice rally. Now, what else do we see in these charts? Right, so to turn macro bullish, we have to, recover the 21-week EMA that has been, the line in the sand for a decade for Bitcoin. You could see we're a bit of ways from that. So could we rally up there? Another 26% from here, a possibility. Is that likely? Maybe not. But we are trying to form at least a recovery rally. But the bleak news, right? So maybe the good news if you're a bear, if you want lower prices. Here's your candy of the day, right? So Elliott Wave, maybe you've heard of it. Start at the top. This is pretty textbook. Elliott Wave is very subjective, and people draw it differently. A lot of people draw it wrong, but when it's clear cut as this, it's hard to argue with, right? So we got wave down. It works up and down, okay, right? So wave 1, down. Wave 2, rally up to 48K. Wave 3 is always the longest wave, right? So that fits the textbook pattern so far. Wave 4 should go up. Wave 2 and wave 4 will always be going up in a bear pattern, right? And now wave 4, will it stop there? We don't know. Could it go up to the 21 week? Sure. Is this enough? Sure. That was a 40% rally, just over 40%, right? We've done 35% is what we just looked at, right? So that is enough. Will it stop there? We don't know. And what about wave 5? Wave 5 is always down as well, and usually pretty sharp. So let's get our pattern out here. Where would wave 5 possibly hit? Well, we've looked at this in a couple other videos, but where's the next likely scenario? Well, maybe around 11 to 14K, right? 11 to 14K. 14K on the monthly, that's where the highest monthly candle closed. So on the daily, yeah, we got to 20K. On the weekly, we didn't quite get to 20K. On the monthly, we got to 14K. The monthly candle closes at 14K. So where that hits, is your guess is as good as mine. 14 to 11. So let's just draw it somewhere in there, right? We're looking at something like that for the Elliott Wave to play out in its entirety. And that would be a pretty much textbook Elliott Wave pattern. And, like it or not, like I said, if you're a bull and you're getting excited right now, maybe you don't want to see that. What are the chances of us not going down this? Well, there's always a chance for anything, right? Nothing's certain in crypto but uncertainty. But could we stop a little sooner? Yeah. Could we could we have already bottomed? Of course, right? We talked yesterday that the pi cycle bottom has flashed. Could that hold true? Sure. Could it not? Of course, right? But having the line maybe right here, could we do that? Yeah. What are the odds? Are the odds of better up here or down here? Well, it's wherever the most interaction, where's the most touch points. And I would venture to say that right here has a greater chance of playing out than up here, right? That's our initial liftoff, our initial hesitation. Sure, you got that. 20K is not really the number on the bigger scale. 20K is not it. The 14K is the number, which also coincides to kind of these upper levels, this kind of initial drop zone area. So I'd be looking at something in there, and that would also, play out pretty textbook for the 5th Elliott Wave to complete, and then, consolidation, and then we can start our next bull run, which should be a fantastic sight to behold. So what do you think? Do you think this has a chance to play out? Have you seen that before? Or do you think this is total BS and we're not going to do Elliott Wave at all anymore and it's, worthless? Hopefully you don't think that. But that is hard to argue with, that is not the correct wave count, right? Some people can determine, you can just, if something looks fuzzy to you, or you're not used to looking at it on a downside, then, don't fault yourself, right? There's a lot of people that just leave on bear markets, which is the incorrect thing to do. You should be learning as much as possible in bear markets because that is the time to do it. You don't want to be trying to learn as you're trying to buy and make money, right? You want to be learning when nothing is going on. So the wave down, 1, wave 2, up. Wave 3 is always the longest, which in this case fits it to the pattern, right? Wave 4 is up. Now, could we come up here? Potentially, maybe we go up, through July and August, and we go up way up, right? Maybe we go up to 28 to 30K. That's a possibility. I'm not saying we have to reverse here, but 8-week EMA, when it's held resistance like 6 weeks prior to testing it, you got to consider that, right? So keep that in mind. We'll either likely reject at the 21 week, which will probably be somewhere around 28K when we get to it, right? You can see this descending a little bit, or we reject here in the next, handful of days even, right? We're right on it right now. And then we will likely, are we going to, dive straight down? Who knows? Are we going to, drag out like that? Probably not. I think it'll be probably something a little bit more severe. Usually the 5th wave is a little bit more aggressive. But, last time this rounded top, right, going into, May, right, that was kind of a first for Bitcoin. So maybe we get some kind of fancy new first bottoming area for Bitcoin this time. So just trying to relay all possibilities as much as possible. You can interpret the data as you see fit. So that is that for our Bitcoin Daily Update. Let's look at our quote of the day. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. Great quote, as most of are. All right, car of the day. Porsche 911 GT3 RS in the very stellar yellow. Love supercars in yellow. What do you think about the bronze wheels? I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the bronze wheels on that color. Bronze wheels on, gold wheels, bronze wheels on some cars, good. I fancy them more on darker cars for the bronze wheels. All right, enough rambling. I don't know where this is. Anybody know where this is? Is this, I'm not even going to embarrass myself and say where this is. Maybe someone knows where that is. What is that up yonder? That looks historic. If you know where that's at, be happy to tell me in the comments. I'll see you on the next video.